everybody. Welcome to Autism Beyond the Label. I am Shyheem Shabazz along with my mom. And just for the many of you who are curious or like new to this and stuff, you've noticed that I changed my YouTube name. Like I've changed it for the last time to Indomovic Praiseless 1999. Just doing something much more bigger and better like any other YouTuber would.
Yeah, but why'd you change your name? You want to explain to that?
Yeah, to be cooler, like to better and cooler and stuff. Like, I thought it would like be better for me.
So you think that because you change your name, it makes you cooler?
Well, like it looks cool and just we'll look at this. Let's show like oh wait, not everybody will be able to.
Okay, everybody can't see it right now. Okay.
I mean, well, people on here, but not people on there.
Oh, I see what you're saying. So again, you want to tell them your channel, that you switched your channel, where they can find you at on YouTube?
Yes, like it's.
Just say it.
Yeah. Okay.
Just say the word. Just say what the name of the channel is.
Okay, it's IN.
No. What? Say the name of it. So, we're on here today. Of course, we haven't been on here in a while, but let's start with this first. So, we're on here. This is Autism Beyond the Spectrum with Shyheem.
Label.
Autism Beyond the Label with Shyheem, of course, and we're here to spread information which could help others who are going through the journey. And what we were talking about is Shyheem has changed his YouTube channel, and now his channel is called, say the name of it. Just say the name, then you can spell it.
All right. Indomovic Praiseless 1999.
Okay, but if you go to YouTube, you can find it by typing in what?
You can type it by still typing in my old YouTube name, which used to be Zestvic.
But the new name is Indomovic. So spell the name so they'll know how to find it.
All right, it's INDOMIVIC.
That's right. So, all right. So today we've decided to jump back on here to talk about. What are we talking about today?
Yeah, it was a difficult decision at first, but I decided to just settle on movies, just movies in general.
Okay, so we're going to talk about movies and how they can have an impact on your life, different things that you can learn from them. And also, this is one of the strong interests that Shyheem has.
Personally,
yes. So, of course, we talked about how autism and Asperger's affect different kids, and it also ties into why they're so passionate about certain things. So, Shyheem, being that he is very passionate about animation and voiceovers, he's also passionate about movies. So, he has a very good memory, so he can remember people, actors, actresses, who said what in which movies and things of that sort. But also, it's important because you've learned.
Yes, I came to like understand that more. Like I didn't at first. Like yes, like my dad. Like he was right. Like I just only came along for movies, just like eat and just enjoy, but not learn from the lessons. But I came to understand that much more, as that it's basically college for me.
Gotcha. Being that you can learn different life lessons by watching certain movies, right?
Yes.
Because being that he has Asperger's or his autism, Shyheem doesn't like to be, you don't really be out much, right? So socially involved with people, right?
Yeah.
Well, not that much. You are, but you really don't go out the house to socialize with people that often, right?
Right, but I'll be willing to fix that someday.
Right, but right now, being that the biggest life lessons that you learn is when you're out and you're exposed among the community and among different people in your environment, But being that Shyheem stays in most of the time, then by looking at movies, you also learn how to deal with people in different situations, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, what movie you want to start with, and what movie do you think had an impact on you?
Okay. Like there's plenty of a lot of it.
Yeah, but you got to start with one so that you don't lose
I'm
everybody.
I'm just explaining like
Okay.
simply like there has been many different choices, but I believe that
Bear with us.
yeah
He has everything, everything. When I tell you he has everything, everything is in his phone. So all his notes, all of his uh, things that reminders, everything in his phone. So as I told Shyheem like earlier this week, if he was to lose his phone, he would lose everything because he doesn't write them down anymore. He puts it all in his phone.
I
It's not
had
a bad thing. I'm just saying.
you don't remember that time when we just like went to what was it, Target, and I got those journals, and that's
Yeah.
why I write like everything down now.
Okay, so tell them one movie that you really enjoy. Tell them that first, and then I'll ask you other questions.
And by wait, I thought you said like pick one that meant like the most to me and stuff.
Okay, so what movie meant the most to you?
Okay, even though I would have to say Aquila and the Bee.
Okay, so why would you say that Aquila and the Bee? Okay, you're not in my camera over here.
Huh? Sorry.
Boom, stay there.
Sorry.
Slide over to me. Yes, all right. So why would you say that Aquila and the Bee was your most favorite movie?
Well, I wouldn't say most favorite. It's just one of those movies to just like just inspire.
Okay,
And
so why did Aquila and the Bee inspire you?
because well, it's one of those movies where you just like want to do like great things and achieve success and all that stuff. That's what I'm like all about.
Okay. So, can you tell the people what that have not watched Aquila and the Bee what the movie was about
I mean, yes.
briefly?
Yeah, briefly. Yes, it's
Okay.
about an 11-year-old girl played by Kiki Palmer, who discovers she has an extraordinary talent about spelling and is willing to do like whatever it takes to well like excel at like life or something. Like even though I've seen it like a bunch of times, it's basically a drama film mostly. Like that's what it's like all about. It's
But her passion to find different methods
yes.
to learn, no matter what that she had to go through. So that kind of tied in with what was going on in her personal life. Do you know what was going on in her personal life? Was there anything that you remember?
It's just there's some incident about her father dying.
Her father died, and then so she was dealing with that, and then the competing. Okay, so initially, did she want to compete in the spelling bee?
No, not at first.
She didn't at first.
No.
So why didn't she want to compete at first? Do you remember?
Oh, it's all dealt from like being ridiculed at school because I just hate one of those cliches in movies.
So she was getting ridiculed in school, which sometimes kids get ridiculed and bullied in school as well, right?
Yes.
Yes. So it ties into, so you can kind of relate to the movie, you think?
Oh.
Well, I'm not saying that you had gotten bullied, but I'm saying it's relatable because you've known people to get bullied.
I mean, well, not really knowing people getting. I mean, like,
But you know it
a
exists.
little, just kind of like this much.
Yes.
But,
Okay. So she just decided that she wanted to overcome her fear and enter the contest, right?
just overcoming like what's been like put onto her, like what was like in the past, I believe, and just well thinking that she can put anything that she can put her mind to.
If she she can accomplish anything that she sets her mind to.
Yes.
So that's a great movie. And then she worked and worked and worked. But did she face any challenges, do you think?
Yes.
Okay.
Doing like learning learning words on her own without the help of Dr. Larrabee.
So do you think that Dr. Larrapy was hard on her at times?
I mean, well, I would say just strict. Just one of those mentors who can just be like strict, but is willing to do what it takes to just make her better.
Right. So although he was being strict on her, he was actually helping her, right?
Right. And
Yes.
yes, Nick, like I am aware of that. You did explain that. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. So that's Aquila and the Bee. And you learned something from that one. Do you know another movie that might have impacted you and you learned something from?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. What's another movie?
I would have to say like Ready Player One a little bit. It's one. and one of these type of movies that have like a bunch of different lessons, but for me it was like just one.
Okay, so what lesson did you get from that?
Yeah, the main one is just like, like people spending too much time in their own little fantasies, but not taking time to get into the real world. That's what I had to like go through. Like when I was in elementary school, when I attended, what was it? Alt? Yeah, it was Alt.
Yeah, because when you was in all you wanted to do was stay in your imaginary world,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
And at that time, that's when you were getting in trouble in school because
Yes.
you weren't staying focused. Because you spent most of your time focused on your animation and your creative world, we would say,
Yes.
instead of dealing with the real life situations that was going on, such as learning and reading and paying attention in class and staying on task.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So is there another movie that you would like to talk about? Is there any movie that dad has showed you? So first of all, let's break this down. So Shyheem watches movies on what day? Because such a routine person that we've set it up, or him and his dad has this set up so that he watches movies when you can talk about that.
Yeah, on Mondays and Thursdays.
So on Mondays, and so explain to the people what we're talking about as far as your routine with the movies.
Yeah, just Mondays and Thursdays I watch movies to get like understand messages about like the real world and just how to live in it and learn from them and stuff. And I had to say like it does help a lot. Like I was at first it was a little bit downhill I would say, but then it just evolved more and I got to understand much more better.
Okay, so what do you mean by downhill?
I mean like at first like after like ever since I would have to say when I saw like Scarface and I had like trouble like understanding, but then like after that,
Okay, so so you watched the movie Scarface. Is that one of the movies dad suggested you watch?
yes,
Okay, so you watched Scarface, and Scarface was kind of violent movie, right?
I mean yes, one of those, yes,
Yeah. But what did you learn from Scarface?
yeah. Like if that was the problem. Like I
Okay.
just couldn't like remember. Like I just couldn't. It's like one of those movies where I was focusing on like what is like overall message and stuff.
So some of the movies you can find it difficult to understand where they're going. Like, what is the plot?
Yeah,
What
what
is the
like
topic?
what's the main message?
What is the
That's
main
and
message?
that's why now like whenever like I'm done watching a movie, like depending on which ones give the perfect amount of messages as possible, I write them down and just keep them for myself.
Gotcha. But if you could say one thing that you learned from Scarface, did you learn anything from watching Scarface?
I don't. I think it's like be careful about like what you go into. Like first you don't seem like interested, and then you just evolve into something that you think you became what like
How about what do you think about the message in Scarface, such as you have to be careful about who you allow to come in your personal space. Even your friends, people who you think your friends, sometimes,
yes, that does help out a lot. Thank you.
yeah.
I was
So sometimes people who you think are your friends will actually backstab you in the end, right?
yes.
Yes, because with Scarface, what happened with Scarface on the movie? Do you remember?
Like
At the
I was just
ending,
yeah, he got killed.
he got killed, but he got killed by who?
Uh yeah, he got killed by like
You don't have to say his name, but it was a guy who
yeah, like who he just
it was it somebody that he trusted before? Or was it, remember at the end of Scarface when they were getting ready to run for the train?
run
Remember,
for
was
the
that the Scarface? Was that Scarface movie? Maybe I'm getting it mixed up.
you got mixed up.
Okay, maybe that's me. All right. So anyway, we're gonna move on because I don't have that great of a memory, and he does. So if he's saying that ain't what happened to Scarface, I can't remember. But Mom, you cannot be in our video. Actually, you want Grandma to be in our video?
Well, if she wants to,
Well, let's let Grandma be in our video. Maybe she has something to ask you. So sure. Come on. We're going to delete you in a minute if you don't come on. Grandma don't know what she's doing. All right, we're moving on. If she joins, then we'll comment and talk to her. But right now, we're just going to continue to go on. So,
Well,
oh, there she is. Hi.
hey, Grandma.
Hey, sweetie.
Hi.
You
Did you
see me?
about a movie or something?
You're breaking up, but say it again.
Did you have a
Thank
question?
you then.
Video right now. So did you have a question about a movie?
Hi, Shyheem.
Hey,
The
Grandma.
TV is up a little too loud, so I can't understand
All
what your
right.
mother is
Well,
saying.
we're doing a video right now
No? Okay.
on movies that have had an impact on his life. And
Mm-hmm.
did you have any questions about anything that we were talking about as far as movies?
Not right now, but I'm going to sit and listen because I just jumped in. But
All
when
right.
I get the full understanding, I may have some questions for my honey.
All right, Grandma. Well, it was good talking to you. Continue watching. We love you.
All right, baby.
All right.
You know, I don't know how to get on this stuff. I just be hitting.
All right. So that was his grandmother, of course. But we're going to continue on with the movies. What's another movie that you think impacted your life or that you got a life lesson from?
I mean, yes.
Go ahead. You can look in your phone.
I mean, yeah. Like I just tried. It's the ones that really did, like, you know.
We could talk about a life lesson we just got just now from Grandma.
What would that be?
I think the lesson would be sometimes it's good to reach out to our parents or our older friends to make sure they understand technology. You think so?
Yes.
Yes, it's important. All right, but anyway, let's continue on talking about these movies and how they can affect your life and what things that you can learn from them. This is just another way, if you know of someone who has autism or someone who has Asperger's, just because they want to be at home or sometimes they don't like being in social environments, they can continue to learn. There's different methods, and whatever method works for your child, then that's what you use. So don't get discouraged because they're not out and amongst other kids. You can always learn something through movies or reading or whatever different methods that you find works for, your child or your loved one. It might not be a child. So we're going to talk about one more movie and then we're going to jump off. Okay. So let's
jump off of what?
I mean, get off the video. We're just going to end it.
What? Why?
Okay. Well, we can continue.
I mean,
it's your podcast. It's your video, so we can talk as many as you want to.
Like I thought like you wanted to like share like your opinions about like.
I do want to share my opinions.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
So yeah, if nobody minds if nobody minds that some of my bros would like to like enjoy like jump in to say like what they want.
Well, hello there.
Yeah. Hey Blitz, how are you?
I am doing very good. Hi, Fresh's mom.
Hi, how are you?
How are y'all doing today?
We're doing great. Do you have any questions or input on the movies that we're talking about?
Not at the moment, but it was a really interesting story. Like the first movie Fresh was talking about, I just remembered the movie because I only watched it once in 6th grade.
Yeah. So did you learn anything from that, or is there something that you remember particularly about that movie?
I remember the girl was using a tactic to like spell out the words.
Yes. Do you remember what tactic she was using to spell the words?
Like I remember she would pat her knee or something.
Exactly. So that was a great tool that she used to remember how to. I think she was trying to remember the letters or how to spell it out or something like that.
It's just like one of like her motives to just make her focus.
Make her focus. Yeah, to keep her focused, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Well, thanks for commenting on that. Which one is that? Who am I talking to?
It's Blitz.
Thanks for commenting on that, Blitzy. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right.
And Nick, like, do you have like anything to say? Like, it's always good to like see you too as well.
I've got a question for you. Out of all those movies, which one would you say has made the biggest impact on your life?
Good question, Nick.
The biggest one.
So Nick has asked Shyheem, which of the movies has it made the biggest impact on his life? Nick, I love your accent too. Where are you from?
I'm from South Africa.
South Africa? Oh my God, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Yes, I love your accent. I could listen to that all the time. That's cool.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes. While he's trying to find the movie that has the biggest impact on his life, do you have a movie that you think has an impact on your life?
I do actually, as a matter of fact. It's called Zootopia, and that movie has actually taught me not to have any discrimination or prejudice against anyone just because of a certain race or anything like that.
Cool. Now, what's the name of that movie again?
Zootopia.
Zootopia. Okay, so Nick was telling us that Zootopia taught him the lesson that you do not, what? Say it again for me, Nick.
That you shouldn't be prejudiced towards someone or shouldn't have racism to someone because of their race or skin color.
Absolutely. That's an amazing movie. I've never seen it before, but I'm definitely interested in watching it now, especially being that you gave me the information that you learned from it. So I'm definitely going to look that up.
Yeah. That was a very interesting story because currently right now, because I'm in 8th grade right now, and in ALA we're learning about about race.
Gotcha. Well, race is a very hot topic right now. As it's currently in the news, and you can't really get away from it. I don't think we'll ever get away from the issues that we deal with race. We just have to learn how to exist with one another and to respect each other. So.
Yeah. So like, mostly we're just learning about the stories, especially about George Floyd that recently got like killed for no reason by a cop last year.
Correct.
That's so sad.
It is very sad. So we're hoping that the young people like yourself will one day make big changes, you know, because the older generation, they've been trying for years, and I think it's going to be a ongoing thing that we'll have to try to correct each day. Hopefully things will get better, and hopefully the new generation will come in and make some big changes. All right. All right, Shyheem, so did you find the movie that made the big impact on you?
Yeah, I just remembered.
Okay.
Like, it's a recent one, which was the Mitchells versus the Machines.
Okay, so why did that make a big impact on you?
Because I just saw a lot of myself in that movie. Like, it was like it's an animated movie. It's like one of the best ones that I've ever seen.
Okay.
It's about like a young female aspiring filmmaker who just wants to like get in her dream school and goes on this crazy road trip with her family and learning to just like bond much more with her father and just, well, you know, it just changed me. Like,
okay, so you're saying that the movie changed you, and what was the name of it again?
The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Mitchells versus the Machines. So you're saying that it changed you, but how did the movie change you?
Like, it just, I mean, like, it's like one of those movies that just too great to explain, like how.
Yeah, but you have to be able to explain to people how exactly it changed you.
Just like the people are just like, that family is like the most important people like in your life.
So did you already think that before, or now since watching the movie it changed your point of view?
Like, of course, like it did change my point of view.
Okay, so what were you thinking before it?
Like before that, like I just believed in just doing a simple job will get like a good, like a thank you like all the time. You know, like how all those times I said like I just only do good to only please you and Dad, but that's but I already know that you guys are already proud.
So from that movie, it had that in there also?
No. I was just making an analogy.
Well, that's what I'm asking. So right now we're talking about movies had an impact, and you said the movie changed you. So what I'm asking you is, how exactly did this movie change you? So when you're thinking of a movie that changed you, that means before you had a different thought process, but now after watching this movie, it changed you. So that's what I'm asking you.
Well, like that's like what I'm trying to explain.
Okay, so before in the movie that the person, so before in the movie, was something happening before that they thought?
Um, so Katie, she was believing that like she could be able to just go to her filmmaking school to just. That's all she wanted to do. Like that was her like her main thing.
Okay, so her main goal was to go to animation school, filmmaking school.
Yes.
Okay, so then what happened in the movie? Did she go to filmmaking school or no?
Eventually she did.
Okay.
But it's just a disastrous road trip. Like her dad decided to just spend one more day together as a family without like any machines or anything.
Oh, like I see what you mean. So she wanted to go to filmmaking school, but then her dad told her that we're going to have a day of no technology and no machines.
Like she and her dad didn't really see eye to eye that much.
Gotcha. Okay. So what you're saying is that's the lesson that you learned.
Well, it's like accepting family.
Accepting family. Like sometimes you need to put, well, actually, I guess and correct me if I'm wrong. So what you're saying is from that movie you got, sometimes you can be selfish because you put your own needs or your own wants above your family and spending time with your family.
That was the message in that movie.
Okay.
Not with me.
But okay, I got you.
Yeah. If you like understand like.
Yeah, I understand that was in the movie. I was just saying, is that what you were relating to yourself? Is that the lesson that you said changed you? That's what I was trying to figure out.
Well, like just change me to just be much more like better, confident person.
Okay, I understand.
Confident being like the main like word. Yes.
Gotcha. Okay, so I'm sorry.
What?
Like, Nick just said it was a very interesting story.
Oh, I see. So, I guess, let me see. Is there a story that impacted me? I'm not sure. I've seen a lot of movies. I can't say particularly that one impacted me. I think there are several that I've seen that impact me. But I do think that the way that movies impact you probably is because you have some relatability to the movie, or you can see yourself in that situation, whatever the movie is.
Yes, whatever the movie is, I get that feeling all the time.
Yes. So if there's a movie that I'm watching that involves like John Q. John Q was a movie where his son was sick and he wanted them to fix whatever was wrong with his child, right? Yeah. And so he was willing to do anything, even if it meant he was going to go to jail. He was willing to go to take those punishments, or whatever it took under any circumstances. He was going to make sure that his son, I think it was got a new heart or something. I can't remember particularly. I don't want to be incorrect, but I do remember that his passion, his willingness to do anything for his child. I can definitely understand that because even with you, I would give anything to help my child in any situation. So that's kind of relatable for me. So it would definitely have an impact on my life because I can relate to it, having kids. So
yeah, that was very interesting. And if you don't mind, can I share a story with all of you?
Sure, Melissa, go ahead.
So I don't know if you can tell, but I'm Indian, but I don't sound Indian.
Oh, okay.
And, like a few years ago, like when I came to like this country, people like make like jokes about me, like compare me to characters from like cartoon shows, especially a character from The Simpsons, Apu. Like because I'm just Indian, and just recently I got accused of something at school, like because a kid got beat up in the playground, and some witnesses said it was an Indian kid with a turban because I have a turban.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Wow. And I was like, I didn't do nothing.
That is horrible.
Like, and then this teacher came in. Yeah, this teacher came in. He's like, "Oh, please, you're all the same." I'm like, "What?"
And Blitzy, where are you going to school at? I'm actually, first let me say, I'm so sorry that that happened to you. Um, and that's definitely something that we see in movies. So that's why I was saying, you know, you can definitely relate to life, things that happen in your life to some movies that they're putting out right now. But where do you live at? Where do you live? What
Well,
state?
I live in New York in Queens.
You stay in Queens. So
Yeah.
just that little incident like that, you know, it's very hurtful. And I think that people should be very careful about their choices of words that they use. I don't think that people understand how much of an impact their words have on other people's lives. If they would definitely think about, you know, it just goes back to treat others the way that you would want to be treated, you know. So you definitely didn't deserve that.
Or simply because like people think that stuff is like funny to them because they think like make bullying makes you like popular and all that stuff, which is like, you know, it's not okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But yeah, but luckily they found out who really did it on Thursday. I was like, thank God they found like the culprit, because I was just like chilling on like a Wednesday and they accused me of this thing. But luckily they found the guy. And what was funny, it was the guy's son that I said, "You're all just the same." I'm like, wow.
Oh, wow. Wow. So he kind of deflected so that the attention wouldn't be on himself. So
Yeah.
he accused someone else. But it's very hurtful to say that you are all alike, because we're all different and we're created different. And for you to say, actually, I think, you know, directing the finger pointing to a certain race or a certain culture was definitely the wrong thing to say. You know, in life, we all make mistakes, and we all should take responsibility for our actions and not deflect and put that on other people. So
Yeah.
I hope things get better, and I'm glad they found the real person that did that.
They did, because on Friday we had like a whole meeting, and if the teacher got fired and his son got like expelled.
Absolutely. That's the best thing that can happen, because you won't learn unless you have to deal with the consequences of your actions. I think if you do something like that, the best learning tool is to get punished, and then you know not to do that anymore.
That is, if you be stupid enough to do that again.
Yeah, some people don't learn.
Yeah, and another thing that, yeah,
is always say, what goes around comes around.
That's right, Nick. What goes around comes around. Well, guys, I've enjoyed talking to you all today, but we're going to get off. We can continue on with Shyheem's video, but for my live video, I'm going to go ahead and get off. I hope that you all have learned something from this video today, and we will be back next time with another video beyond autism, beyond the label, with Shyheem. So we're going to say goodbye right now, and we hope that y'all have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and we'll talk to you later. See ya.
bye.
Bye.